Hello, welcome back. So in this lecture, we are going to solve an example to understand the baton system design. So this is actually example one. So it says a baton column of 10-meter long. So the length of column is 10 meter. 10-meter long is carrying a factored load of 1150 kilonewton. The column is restrained in position but not in direction at both ends, and we have to design a built-up column using channel sections placed back to back. Back to back means this type. So the channels are placed like this, and we have to design them in this placement. And the length of column is 10 meter, and the column is carrying this much load. And also it says that we have to design batten plates using bolted connection. Okay. So first we need to make the diagram. So in the diagram we can see here uh, our batten column will look like this. The length of column will be 10 meter, or height of column will be 10 meter, and battens will be used to connect these two members, and these two members will be like this. So as here you can see, both of these channel sections are placed back to back in this configuration, and this is the batten plate, and this is the axis, which is Z axis. So in this design, what we are supposed to do? First of all, we have to decide what would be the size of this channel section. As you can see, both of these channel sections should be of, as per IS code, they should be of same size, and the load is being carried by the whole column, which is 1150. And this 1150 load will be divided on both of these channel sections equally, which means one channel section is carrying half of this load, E by 2. And further, the batten, which is holding these two members, they will experience the V value, which is the transverse shear, and this V will ultimately induce the longitudinal shear and moment in the batten. So in this design, first of all, we will design the channel section. We will design the channel section, and then we will find out the spacing between these two, because this spacing is also based on the concept that RYY should not less than RZZ. So based on this concept, we will find out S value. I have already described how to find out this S value in the previous lecture also. So we will find out this. And after that, we will design the batten system. So in the batten system also, we will find out what is the spacing of the batten system, what is the depth of batten, what is the length of batten. And once we decide the dimension of the batten, then we will check them for the shear and bending stress. And after that, we will design the connections. So that is the process that we are going to follow in this numerical. So let's start our solution. So first we will design the main component. Main component are actually the channel section. So we are calling them as main component. So to design the main component, I have explained, I have solved a similar problem in the previous lecture also. So this time I will go through a little fast so that we can cover it within the time. Now, the data which is given to us in the column is, in the question is P value, which is the load on the column, L is the 10 meter, which is 10,000 mm. And while designing the channel section, what we are supposed to find out in this? We are supposed to find out the effective area. And this effective area can be calculated when we assume the value of FCD, because we know that AE can be calculated as P by FCD. So using this relation, we will find out the value of effective area. So initially we will assume the value of FCD to find out the value of effective area. So let's assume the value of FCD as 125 MPa, and by assuming it, we will now find out the required area. So required area would be P by FCD. So this is the value of P, this is the value of FCD, and the required area, approximate required area will be 9200. Now we will go to the steel table. Now this is the total area. Area of cross section for single channel section would be divided by 2, which means it would be 4600. So for a single channel, it would be 4600, and both channels should be identical. So using the steel table, we will look for the channel section which will have effective cross-sectional area more than this. So I have already explained the process of selecting sections from the steel table. So now from the steel table, we find that ISMC 350 is having the required area, I mean more than the required area, and the relevant property of ISMC 350 are this one. So A value is 5366, which is more than 4600, which is okay, and the individual radius of gyration for the channel section RYY is 28.3. This will be very important. We will use it when we will find out the spacing of the batten. Similarly, the IZZ value, the CYY value, this will also be used when we will calculate the S value. Then RZ, thickness of flange, IYY, and this B value will also be very important for us, because we will check the depth of batten with this. So all these values are very important, and we can easily find out from the steel table. Now after this, we will now find out the slenderness ratio. First, we will see how much area is being provided. The required area was 9200 mm square, but as the channel section we have selected, it is around 5366. So the total area provided will be 10,732 mm square. Now we will find out the lambda value, which is L by RZZ. This L is actually the KL, but here in this case K will be 1. Why? Because of the end condition mentioned in the question. There I'm again showing you. It says the column is restrained in the position but not in direction at both ends. It is purely the condition of hinged connection, which means column is hinged. So referring table 9, you can find out the value of K. So K value for hinged connection will be 1. So that is why the slenderness ratio, I mean the KL value in this case will be L. K will be 1. So L value is the 10 meter, and generally when we find out the lambda is equals to R minimum, but here R minimum value technically it should be the RYY, but what we are doing is we are actually taking this one as the minimum value. Why? Because of the condition IS code has mentioned that RYY should not be less than RZZ. So here in this case RZZ is 136. So ultimately we have to place our column such that RYY and RZZ both will be same. So that is why R minimum in this case I am taking as RZZ. The same I have explained in the previous lecture also when I was solving the similar column. So in this case R minimum, now finding the lambda value as 73.21. Now as per IS code recommendation, we have to find out the effective slenderness ratio, which means the calculated lambda value should be increased by 10%. So we are increasing it by 10%, multiplying by 1.1. So we get the lambda value effective slenderness ratio as 80, which is again less than 180, which is safe. Now for this lambda, for this effective slenderness ratio and Fy value as 250 and buckling class C, referring to table 9C. So we can easily find out the value of FCD, which is this one, and after calculating it, we get the value of FCD as 135.2 megapascal. So I'm just skipping this process. How do we do that? Because I have already explained this in some of the example previously. Now, after getting the actual value of FCD, now we will find out the load carrying capacity. So load carrying capacity would be effective area provided multiplied by the FCD. So this effective area will be for the channel section that we are providing. So the effective area is 10,732 and multiplied by 135 and directly multiplying by the 10 raised to power minus 3, so that we get the value directly in the kilonewton. So now here you can see the load carrying capacity of the channel section is 1451, which is more than 1200, which means it is safe, it is okay. So till now what we have done is we have decided our channel section. So these are ISMC 350, which is okay. Now the next process that we are supposed to find out is what should be the spacing between these two. So this spacing S is based on the fact that RYY should not be less than RZZ. So if we equate them as RYY equals to RZZ, so using this phenomena, we will find out this value S. So that is our next process, which is spacing of the channels. So in this case, you can see we are supposed to find out this S value. So when we find, so based on the fact that I have discussed, so in this case, we are supposed to equate. So this is based on the fact that RZZ should be equals to RYY. So RZZ, both are, you can see the individual channel section and the whole assembly, their Z-axis is on the same point, which means they are symmetric individually and as a whole. So that is why I'm taking directly IZZ and I'm multiplying this by 2 because there are two channel sections. Similarly, using the same formula I have used in the previous example also, I have explained the process. How do we find out that? So I'm just directly putting the formula, and IZZ, IYY value for the channel section we have already find out from the steel table. So we can see that. So putting all the values, we can find out the value of S as 218.4 mm. So this S value is 218. So taking this value as 220. So now we have decided this channel section, and now we have find out what should be the distance between them. Now the next point we are supposed to find out is the batten system design. So that we will do in the next part. Thank you.